Coach, a couple days in now, you've got some newcomers at the kicking position. How would you kind of assess their performance so far?
Work in progress, developing, improving every day, just trying to stack reps, building the consistency. But today, a little better than yesterday, which is good. You know, we saw more field goals go through the pipes, snaps were a little sharper, holds, same thing. So every day just working on consistency and getting better.
Massimo was a guy too that you targeted. What made him the right guy for you?
I like his. He's got a compact kicking style, which is nice, and good pop on the football, and consistent throughout his career. So that's really the biggest thing. An older guy, great mindset, great teammate. So he's been doing a great job for us so far.
What have you done at Archer Trafford in the punting unit so far?
Yeah, been doing a good job as well. And he's actually looking really good holding the football as well. It's something kind of added to the repertoire for him. Adding some hang time to his punts, which is definitely a positive there. So he's also same thing. Everybody's continually every day just kind of get a little bit better.
You've got a mixture of veterans, tryouts, and new freshmen, kickoff, and how's that going?
Good, really good. I mean, a lot of competitiveness. That's the biggest thing. So you're looking for who can you throw in the fire is going to compete and fight. A bunch of guys doing that. Had a kickoff day yesterday, and the best thing about that was Ben Raybon kicking balls out of the end zone. So then it doesn't really matter who's on the field after that. But really good job by those young guys so far.
What do you think of the guys you have in the return game?
Explosive, and same thing. We got to log reps. We got to get really smooth, natural, consistent, and we're doing a good job so far.
Coach, a lot of depth this year on your defensive front. I mean, how are your veterans responding to maybe this being kind of a money year for them?
They're responding well. Obviously, first day of the pads, and so we saw some good things, saw some things we got to improve on. But they're bringing great leadership, and they're working on their details. They know the defense. It's the same defense they've been running the last 2 years, so there's a familiarity with that. And so now they can concentrate on their details as far as pass rushing and defending the run plays.
Do you feel like you guys have been able to stack some good quality depth since y'all have been here so far on the defensive line?
Oh, no question. With some position changes that we did with Coach Arnett and getting the pieces of the puzzle where we need them to be through recruiting, we got some guys in there that have been able to get some experience in playing. So we got some good depth. We got to stay healthy, and that's the same as everybody. But we got to stay healthy, and I think we'll be good to go.
What's it like having Jordan Davis back?
Oh, it's outstanding. I mean, he brings a lot of energy to the position. He's a big, physical, strong guy. He's still learning because obviously missing all of last year, but he's right on schedule. We feel good about where he's at, and hopefully we can keep going in the right direction.
One of the things that coaches always talk about with these freshmen, these first few practices, their heads swimming, they're just kind of getting their feet underneath them. What have you seen from guys like Calvin Dinkins and Travion Williams so far in the first few practices?
A lot of good things. Calvin Dinkins is a very strong, physical guy. Trevion's a very athletic guy. Don Terry's a speed guy, and Jay Mack obviously was here in the spring, but that's a good-looking group, and so the first couple of practices I filtered them into the team segments with the third group, get a couple plays here and there. Today I actually put all three of them in at the same time, want to kind of see how that would look, and they didn't do too bad, so we'll kind of continue to progress to see what they can continue to do and see if one of them might be able to help us out this fall.
And also those guys are just really physically gifted that you don't have to do as much, I guess, from the standpoint of getting in the weight room. I know that's still part of it, but is it easier for those guys just focusing on technique right now and stuff like that?
No question, and obviously give credit to Coach Brown and his staff because they've had them all summer, and they're the ones that get them ready for fall camp. We kind of joked around and we talk about it like being a relay race on the track. They get ready to hand that baton off, and I always say, I got to make sure I don't drop the baton as they hand it off to me. But they did a great job with the guys. Got them bigger, got them stronger, got them faster, and we're starting to see that on the field.
Some of your guys have pretty well-defined positions, but watching some other guys like Sherman, Timms, and others, you seem to have a lot of versatility in the bodies there, what you can do with them, how you can move them around in the scheme.
Right, so, you guys at the Sam position, obviously they come down and be part of the defensive line from time to time, and Sherman's done a great job because, if there's some injuries and such, he can put his hand in the dirt and play defensive end for us. And so we're very fortunate in that, and that's just to say, you get guys that are athletes, and then you start to piece them into the puzzle, and then they have to dual learn just in case something happens. You can switch guys over and continue to move forward.
Deontay Anderson was a guy that he was highly rated coming out of high school and all that, but last year was just a learning experience for him. How much different has he looked to you this year coming into camp?
a big difference. Obviously, first coming in, he had to grow a little bit, had to get a little bit stronger. He worked hard all year last year doing that. He really had a good spring, and we started to see some really good things out of him as far as what he could potentially bring to the table. And he's really picking up where he left off at. And I hope that he will be the X factor, that guy that kind of steps on the scene, that a little bit of an unknown that makes some big time plays for us.
And DeMonte Russell, that's a guy he's kind of had a roadblock every now and then, injuries and things like that. Seems to be finally healthy and getting a lot of reps. What's been the difference for him in the last year or so?
Really just being able to be out there on the field and getting those reps. He got some playing time last year, so anytime you can get in the game and you can get a little bit of a taste of what SEC football is all about, it's going to build your confidence. And going into the off season, when you step into that weight room, you know exactly what you got to do, as far as getting the work done, because all the other teams in the conference, they're going to be putting that work in as well. So he's done a great job in the spring, did a great job over the summer, and again, starting to see a lot of his physicalness that he brings to the table, athleticism that he brings to the table, and he still has the speed.
From a standpoint of the experience, does it change the way that you coached over the last 3 years? Knowing you got more guys now that, ready to play, but certainly have more knowledge than they had at that point?
Oh, without a doubt. Especially the older guys that have been in the system, they understand the drills. They're with each other all summer, and so they really help to get the young guys up to speed when they arrive on campus. And so now we can, work on those details with the older guys, and we can really work on the fundamentals with the young guys to try to speed them up as fast as possible. So it's a great thing to have those older guys providing that leadership.
I was talking to Cam Young yesterday, and he said, we talked about how they'll face every defense except an air raid during the season, a true air raid. But how does the air raid help you prepare for all the offenses you will see?
Well,
especially on a defensive front.
No question. We definitely get the pass rush a lot, so we get a chance to work on that. But really, the motions, the speed of it, all those things that go into the offense and how they play. I mean, it's good on good, and that's the way you're going to get better, And our offensive line, they run the ball, and so running their plays, and we have to match up with them and battle them in the trenches. So iron sharpens iron, and it definitely helps us out, and hopefully we're getting a chance to help them out as well.
Thank you.
Right now, from the first 3 practices, I think they're doing really well. It's been a big emphasis on elevating their game and taking it to a new level. And so across the board, from Woody to Dylan to Simeon Price, who's been out here, Bull Hallgrove, the rest of those guys, they've been doing a good job, and I've been pleased so far.
How do you elevate the game, as you say, of guys like Woody and Dylan who have done so much already in their career?
Yeah, now it's taking another level of now we talked about a word, anticipation. So anticipating what is going to happen before the ball snap, and learning what defense is trying to do to you and what they're trying to execute, and then having a plan and having a strategy to execute their job. So I thought like I said, they've been doing a great job. They've been hungry. They've been asking questions, getting in and watching film, and it's been fantastic.
Is that encouraging that you got 2 old guys with a lot of carries, a lot of catches, a lot of snaps, but they're still trying to learn the game?
Absolutely. I mean, it brings a lot, and so I've told them, hey, they've been here long enough. You're a veteran here. Now let's figure out the little things that we need to do to make sure that we elevate our game and take it to another level. And they've taken it. They've opened up their chest and given me their heart, and now it's now taking it and just continue to go from there off of it.
Watching the first day, you had that session where you were emphasizing pass protection with the guys, but then soon you were emphasizing how to make that little quick, check of dinner, but then get out in a pass route. Are you looking there to get them, maybe not to get them more catches, they got a lot of catches, but more different types of catches?
Yeah, our number one job, when we talk about it, we always got to protect the quarterback. That's our first and main goal. And so with those guys stepping in and understanding who they're supposed to block, and if it doesn't happen, then boom, I want to get out on the pass route as quick as I can so we can give the quarterback another option to feed us the ball, and let's be able to go from there off.
So just kind of give me the first 3 or 4 guys, how they're coming along so far. And I think we know so much about Woody and Dylan, but what are they doing now that we wouldn't notice?
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think they're playing at a different speed. I think just watching them and reevaluating some things that went on from last year, there's times that there's a little bit of hesitation or some things like that, and I'm saying, hey, let's just go take it, and we'll figure out and correct the mistakes from there. And so that comes with experience and some of that other things. And so I think both those guys have been doing good. Now, as far as some of the younger guys that are finally stepping in, from Bull Hargrove and Simeon Price that was coming back from injury, and JJ Jernigan that's been here for a while, now is just taking their step to the next level and being able to compete and play fast. That's the big thing that we talk about in being physical. So it's been good. It's been an emphasis amongst the entire group of, hey, we're going to be a physical group that's going to play fast, and they're taking it and doing a good job so far.
You keep mentioning fast. Seawood played at Hargrove's game because he apparently is the speed guy of the bunch.
Absolutely. Athletic, very talented. Now it's just not having to think and just go and play. I'm like, it's just like backyard ball for you, okay? And you didn't have to think backyard ball. You went and played, and let's do the exact same thing here.
You know, we talk about Woody and Dylan. I noticed they've gained some pounds, but they do seem to be playing faster this year despite it.
Absolutely, and first that comes from Tyson Brown and his strength staff. I think they did a great job this summer. And like we said, whenever we finished our meetings, we talked about, hey, how can I take my game to the next level? And that was a big thing of just elevating and being more quick and more suddenness out of their breaks and some of that other stuff. And so my hat goes off to them this summer and them working and getting to where we need them to be.
Last year we talked a lot to both your top backs about one had these perceived strengths, one had these perceived strengths, and they were trying to get closer to each other. Have you seen some of that, them becoming better rounded?
I have. I think it feels good, being a running backs coach and putting one in, and hey, this guy's got speed and got power, and doing the exact same thing with Dylan. And so, and that was a big thing with Dylan that we talked about. I said, hey, now we need to get your quickness like Woody, and I talked about Woody. We need to get your power like Dylan, and they've kind of taken it and run with it, and it's been good to see.
So they've had 3 days without real contact. I think that starts on Wednesday. The defense was joking yesterday. The offense would be saying their prayers, but you've got some guys that look like they can do a little damage themselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was funny. We talked about it in the meeting today about we have a word of the day. So yesterday was word, today was physical mentality. And said we want to be a punishing and physical group where after every game, that opponent that we're playing saying, God, those backs at Mississippi State run the ball really hard. And so if we're able to accomplish that, man, I'm going to be happy. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Where do you see Simeon and Bull working in this year?
I think both those guys are going to be guys that can contribute. And like I said, it all comes back to practice and seeing how far that they go. The great thing with Simeon, he knows what to do. He plays fast. He's a physical guy. Finally getting him back. And the big thing, trying to make sure taking care of his body as well, because it's been a long time since he's been on that field. But I think he's done a great job, somebody that's reliable and somebody that I can trust. And definitely I think he's going to be in the mix. And then same thing with Bull. Now it's about understanding the scheme, playing fast, not having to think, and playing hard 24/7. And so once he's able to do that and continue that, I think those guys are going to be definitely in the mix and help out, of course, Woody and Dylan, spelling them whenever those bodies kind of get a little dinged up just a little bit.